Welcome to this podcast, this episode, number 30 of 3Ps in a Pod, Purpose, Pathways, and Perspectives. Thanks for listening, and I hope you subscribe to this podcast and rate this podcast and let us know things you may want to hear about. I have with me today Kathy, the associate producer of this podcast. Hi, Kathy.
Hello. It is a wonderful day.
Oh, it's actually sunny in our area. I hope it's nice for you. We don't always get that, so I think we have to celebrate.
Right.
We're supposed to get a week of it. Thank God spring is here. And we are having an episode today about the topic. We were debating what to call this. What did we decide?
I hope you enjoy yourself.
I hope you enjoy yourself. Notice you can have an emphasis on different words there. This is specifically about, do you enjoy yourself? I remember years ago, I did little jobs of, some of it wasn't actually acting. It was on a set with somebody else was acting, or a few times I did some acting, or I did some stage things, a lot more. But many years ago, I remember being on a set for a commercial, I guess. It was a couple days, and I was there as an extra, just had a lot of fun with the other people that were there, and we did our thing. And it was actually just fun, more fun hanging out and joking with people between the times we were actually doing something on the set than what we actually did. But I remember thinking, gosh, I'm enjoying myself. And it was an emphasis of, I'm enjoying myself. I was cracking myself up. I was having fun with myself. And I thought that was kind of funny anyways, because I've had times in my life where I didn't even like myself.
Yeah, I think we all have. Especially like when we're children, though, we seem to like ourselves better. We're more comfortable in our own skin, I think.
Well, and if you listen to last week's episode, which is on the people code, I highly recommend you listen to that because it was really fun. And I've actually gotten calls on that one to say, oh, wow, I really like this episode. So you want to listen to it. But it helps you discover that book, The People Code, helps you discover some of who you are. But like what you said, Kathy, sometimes when we're young, maybe we're really playful or however you happen to be, but life is challenging. Sometimes we go through really, really hard things, or the entire family was going through hard things, or you didn't have family, or who knows how you've been smacked by life, or how you were taught to believe about yourself, words that were said about you. And so we just wanted to chat for a while about, do you enjoy yourself? Do you enjoy who you are?
Well, it's something you were just talking about with the people code. Understanding yourself better and how you're wired, for instance, is a great way to find out more about you and what comes naturally to you, and to be okay with whatever that answer is.
Yeah, I think sometimes we are really pushed into, on purpose or accidental, feeling like, oh, I'm supposed to be this way. I should look like this. I should feel like this. I should respond like this. And oh my gosh. And if depending on your personalities, how you're going to respond to that. Some people have no problem going, yeah, back off. I'm going to be me and no one's going to mess with that. Others of us turn right into whatever we think somebody else wants us to be. And we kind of lose track of, who the heck am I really? And that's painful. That's not fun.
And there's no wrong answer. It's okay to be who you are, who you were meant to be, who God created you to be. It's okay to be that person.
Yeah.
Got to give
There,
yourself permission.
isn't that funny? Giving yourself permission. It's kind of like you have this internal dialogue of letting yourself be the person that you are and say, hey, it's okay that I don't like what they like, or that I think different. I would approach something different. Again, a lot of this you could gain out of the people code, but because I highly recommend that book, I could just replay the episode. But I want to talk about a few more things on this. I like this ancient saying, or it's a verse in the Bible. It was actually a King David who was talking. And there's a lot of different translations to this particular saying or this verse. So I'm going to read it, the basic one, and then talk more about it. It says, he's talking to God. He says, I'll praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works. So he's talking about himself, saying, I am marvelous. And he says, and that my soul knows very well. Eventually that kind of hit me and said, wait a minute, I'm supposed to know really well that I'm pretty amazing, that I'm amazingly made and a marvelous work. So I did a word study because I like to do word studies. And let me read you the expanded one I wrote out once. I'll praise God as I recognize the power and position he's given me. I stand in awe and reverence to my design and give myself proper respect. My design is to be admired, respected, valued, and well regarded. My design is astonishing. How you made me is set apart from your other creations, delightful and brilliant. Your work is magnificent and extraordinary and beyond anyone's power to create except yours. I'm stunning, excellent. It makes me laugh just to read it. I'm stunning, excellent, awe inspiring, and spectacular. My existence is a divine act, and my soul is meant to know this thoroughly. I'd
That's
wager to
good.
say a very slim minority of people know this thoroughly. Would you agree? What do you think?
I'm encouraged just hearing it. So,
I want to read that
uh,
again. Let's just read that 5 or 6 times.
right? Let me look in the mirror and read this.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I don't think most of us know that about ourselves, that we think of ourselves stunning and excellent and awe-inspiring. I
Yeah.
mean, those are good words.
And that person was saying that about their own design, about their own self. And it's not about being cocky or arrogant. It's recognizing what an amazing being a human is. And that's what you are. And we are to give ourselves proper respect.
Mm.
You know, somebody asked Jesus what the most important law was, because there's a lot of laws by then. They even expanded and added to laws of what you were supposed to do. And he said, number one law is to love God. Number two is to love your neighbor as you love yourself. Everything's summed up into that. And I remember somebody saying, hey, your problem is you love your neighbor as you love yourself. And they thought, what? Isn't that what I'm supposed to do? They said, yeah, except the problem is you hate yourself, which
Oh,
means you hate your neighbor. If you don't respect yourself, you cannot pull off long term good treatment of other people. So,
yeah.
note to self, if you really have a hard time loving people, being kind to people, I'd have to say at the root, you don't have proper respect for yourself.
Yeah, that's good. And that can make your relationships very difficult.
Oh, yeah. It's like trying to run a car on a long journey with an empty tank. You can't
Yeah.
go anywhere. You're going to sit on the side of the road and your car looks like it's functional, but it's not going anywhere. Your life can be that way. Your tank is so empty. And gosh, that's been a challenge these days with everything we faced. And some people are thriving, but most people have one way or another had many, many obstacles that they've gone through or are going through, and just the weariness of it all. So my dog is sitting on my lap, harassing me to be to be petted, and she does not usually do this. She is adoring herself, and she
There you
wants to
go.
be highly
Right.
regarded. She's
She's read the
distracting.
verse.
It doesn't take much, but she's distracting me.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like though, because I was thinking, okay, you can't love people on an empty tank, but this is one way to fill up your tank is to
Oh my,
remind yourself who you are.
yes, and we heard this, and actually, if you listened to last week's episode, one thing he said is he recognized something that I shared, and he said, "You know what? You need to use your head to talk to your heart." And he said, "It's actually not that easy to do." And I didn't say anything at the time, but as I pondered that more, even after we were done recording, I know for me, I used to have a hard time looking in the mirror and saying really good things about myself. I had a lot of, actually, many years ago, self hatred.
Hmm.
Now, did I have some amazing reasons for it? No. I just interpreted if somebody didn't have enough time for me or the different things that went on in our family, that it must have been me. I must have been the problem.
Hmm.
So I resented myself eventually. And it was actually pretty, turns out, pretty subconscious thing. Eventually, you don't even realize you did it. You begin to despise who you are because it must be me that I'm not getting the attention or the love that I thought I was supposed to get. I guess I'm not worth it. And then you're going to begin to believe all kinds of terrible things about yourself. And there's another saying that says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. As a woman thinks in her heart, so is she. As you think over and over and over and over about yourself, you begin to become convinced of it. And then your behavior begins to follow. So if you don't think you're worth much, you begin to behave in life as if you're not worth much. You don't even begin to entertain certain good things happening to you because you think, well, that stuff doesn't happen to me. Okay, maybe it didn't happen to you, but don't decide it's never going to. It's amazing how powerful your mind is.
Right.
And that's
Be
why you
very
have to
self.
actually use your mind to talk to your heart. And in some cases, talk yourself back out of those painful beliefs you adopted.
So one way to, besides people code, to get you to know yourself better is to people have different love languages. So they receive love different ways, and they therefore they're giving love different ways. And again, there's not a wrong or a right one, but that's another way to figure out, maybe you're not receiving from your family in your case, when you were younger, and it's because their love language is one thing and yours is another, and so they think they're showing you love, but you're not receiving that.
Good point. I know for me, words matter. Words, if you speak words to me, harsh ones or kind ones, they go a
Mm,
long ways. And so if somebody didn't give a lot of those good words, and maybe they were trying to love me or you, whoever, by doing a nice action, well,
mhm,
that's great that they did that, but they didn't say any good words. And so I didn't
mhm.
feel like, well, if I mattered, they'd say so.
Right.
They may have tried to show it, but I
Yeah.
needed to hear it.
And gifts is another one. If your love languages is gifts, well, if someone gives me a gift, that's, I really do appreciate it, but again, that's not maybe the way I would feel love necessarily.
Yeah, I know. I'm not the best at remembering birthdays. I might remember your birthday, but I'm sorry if Kathy, I've missed every birthday you've probably ever had.
Our birthdays are really close.
Uh-oh. See? I didn't remember that.
Well, they're not here yet. Here, we're clear for 2021.
Oh, good. I know it's one of my bottom love languages. Whereas I have a sister-in-law who it's her top. Gifts are a
Mm,
big deal. If you want to help her feel special, get her a gift, she likes. It'll go miles. For me, it's like, oh, that's really cool. What nice thing do you want to say about me?
right.
It's just funny. So they're all good, but people are wired differently. There's also quality time. There's hugging, the huggers of this life. Oh my gosh, physical touch. And we're not even
Yeah.
talking about sexual. We're just talking the huggers, the people who always
Right.
put their hand on your shoulder. They're
Holding
just,
your hand.
they're
Yeah.
just more physical. And how tough is COVID on that for so long? People couldn't
Right.
hug yeah. So yes, that's a big deal on understanding yourself and receiving love, receiving value. Again, you are valuable, but you maybe didn't receive that because you
Hmm.
misinterpreted how somebody else, sent it to you or
Yeah.
not. Another way to help know yourself or enjoy yourself is kind of think back, what games did you play? Often we accidentally play and do things that turns out to be skills we have. Like I used to just pretend, well, I was a goofball. And so that fits in with the people code. I turned out to be a high yellow in that book of that kind of personality style. But I also didn't know at times I can be funny. So many times I'm not. But who
You're
knew
funny.
that that was something that could be a gift? My brother tells jokes. He can make me laugh like not everybody can. And I was complimenting him on that. And he said, well, actually, sometimes it's just I tell more jokes than other people. So the odds go up. I'm more likely to be funny because I tell more jokes.
Just by sheer number, you're
Just by
you're
sheer
bound to make
numbers,
someone to laugh.
yeah, you're bound to be funny sometimes.
Okay, and then so I think along that line, then what comes easy for you? Yes,
That's
maybe.
nice to know what some of your skills might be is what comes easy for you. People don't appreciate themselves or enjoy their talents because they belittle them. They can sometimes think, well, everybody's good at that. No, they're not. I know somebody who was saying on one of the interviews saying how they loved project management. I go, you have to realize not everybody likes that. Some people love crunching numbers. That's
Yeah.
awesome. You're so good at it. And you wonder why on earth somebody else doesn't get it. Well, don't belittle it. Don't accuse them. They have a different gift, but don't belittle the gifts, the things that come natural to you. That's a talent. It may not be a skill yet. If you invest yourself, get some training, you could develop a real skill. You could probably make money with.
I was just thinking that you can make money with these skills if you
Yeah.
can just figure out what skills, what gifts you have, what interests you have, what and what's fun for you. Work shouldn't be a labor. We should have fun at work. So get paid for something that you're enjoying.
And it took a lot of years for me to gain enough confidence to say, I want to get paid for doing some of the things I knew I tended to be good at. I thought, I actually
Mhm.
want to get paid for this. And I started heading that direction. But it took a certain level of confidence that that was possible for me before I was willing to take those risks and take those steps. So I think you have to go back to the very beginning of recognize the value you have as a human being,
Mhm.
that you do have talents, you do have gifts, you have things that you can contribute that absolutely need to be contributed in various different ways. And the more confidence you gain in that, the more likely you are to pursue those things, Take a little bit of risk, recognize there's always failures along the way. You learn how to walk by falling down a lot along the way.
Right.
So you're going to make mistakes, but that's okay. Keep getting up and be excited about taking the steps.
Yeah. You're worth the effort. Your life,
Yes.
a happy life is worth the effort.
Yeah, and learning how to just plain put in the time, do hard work. I mean, I've had plenty of things I do that I don't necessarily love, and it's part of the job or part of what needs to be accomplished. So I think it's just good to have a good work ethic, good
Yeah.
respect for the true labor of things. And sometimes you just power through those things. I don't care what you do. It's if you're going to really be successful at anything, it takes some hard work.
That is
Period.
true. Yeah.
And so you
No
have to
matter how
value
gifted you
that.
are, no matter how, yeah, how much it comes naturally to you, yes, there's still work involved to line up with the right people, the right jobs, the right people who are going to pay you, all those things.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes you can learn from others. Sometimes you have people around you that are maybe farther along the path, really confident, and they can help you see insights into yourself. And you can ask somebody if you trust them to say something good and say, "What do you see? I think this. What
Mhm.
do you see?" Sometimes you'll be surprised and be careful. They'll say, "Well, you're really good at this." And then people belittle it. No, don't belittle what they say. Listen, and you begin to
Mhm.
recognize and then maybe regard some of the talents you have. Part of your purpose on this planet are the gifts that you have and how you can make a difference with others using them.
Yeah, that would be good feedback for you to receive, people to receive, if you can find a trusted person who can really just be honest about what they're seeing in you. That's good.
Yeah. But again, our soul, our heart, our mind, putting those together is supposed to know very well that you are valuable, that you are capable, and you can do these things. Again, the more confidence I gained, the more willing I was to step out, take some risks, get up when I fell down, encourage myself, and begin to really have more success. But if I didn't ever gain that core sense of value of loving who I am, just because I'm a human being and just because God made me and I begin to really value myself, it's amazing the strength that comes out of that, the
Yeah.
courage that can come out of that, the ability to get up again.
That can be a real stumbling block for some of us in our lives, to, depending on what's going on, to not have the courage to just be beat down, and to remind yourself, though, that you have value, you have purpose, you have a reason, and you can have fun at it. You can achieve your goals. And yeah, that's really good.
It's worth it. It's so worth it if you have to. And I recommend this because if you can't do this, you should practice it. I don't care how dumb you feel. You should look in the mirror and be able to say really good things about yourself. And if you laugh, great. But when I first did that for real many years ago, I don't remember who told me, it literally was difficult. I felt
Mm.
such anger. I felt such, how stupid is this? This is so dumb. Why would I do this? Who does this? And I went, okay, that's a big indicator, Lenora. Why the heck would that be a bad thing? Even if it was a dumb thing, so what?
Right.
Really? You can't just say nice things to yourself in the mirror without feeling like an idiot? Wow. So do it until you don't, until you go, no, I can take this in. Can you take a compliment? That's an indicator sometimes is people won't even take a compliment. The people that are always giving themselves compliments in front of everybody, sometimes those are the most insecure people as well. They're doing it because they don't actually believe they're valuable. So, does your soul know really well that you're valuable? And if not, will you commit to get there? Will you commit to speak life over yourself, to speak good things, to become a friend inside yourself that you really enjoy hanging out with? When you can really enjoy yourself. Do you enjoy yourself? You would never do harm to yourself. You would never not get up again. You would never not believe something's possible that's good for you if you really enjoyed yourself. Such a simple thing, but it's where are you really at with you?
I'm better over the years. I've gotten much better at enjoying myself. I think it's a good question for all of us to ask ourselves and evaluate, where am I? And how do I feel about myself? What do I like? We should get to know ourselves. We're going to be with us forever.
Yeah, I have said this before, but I'm going to say this in this episode. I heard a story years ago. It was from the news. Many young people were trapped underground, and the entire world was watching to see if they could be rescued. I don't know how many feet it was. And we knew it was getting close to life or death. Could these people even be rescued as far down as they were with the kind of collapse that had happened in some tunnels and such. And literally, by the time these days went on, the entire world was watching and hoping these people would be rescued. And it wasn't so they could go to school the next day. It wasn't so that they could go to their job by 8 a.m. the next morning. Now, obviously, we want to go to school. Obviously, we want to have jobs or businesses and produce things. But everyone just wanted them to keep breathing. They wanted them to be on this earth. They wanted just the hope of people being rescued, the value of their life, their lives. So as you think about enjoying yourself, know that first of all, your value is simply your life, the value of your individual life, those fingerprints that no one else has, the pieces of you, who you are, is number one your purpose so that you can be enjoyed. And in our conviction, enjoyed by your creator, enjoyed by yourself, enjoyed by family members, other humans, and the value you can give into this world is a very real value. So we just encourage you, have fun discovering that and get to the place, if you aren't there already, to where you truly can enjoy yourself to the point where your soul knows very well that your design is to be admired, respected, valued, well regarded. Your design is actually astonishing. How you were made is set apart from other creations. You're delightful. You're brilliant. God's work in making you was magnificent, extraordinary, beyond anyone's power to create except for His. You are stunning. You are excellent. You're awe inspiring and spectacular. Your existence is a divine act, and your soul is meant to know that thoroughly. What do you think?
I was going to clap. I mean, when you read that, it is really inspiring.
Reading something like that is why I love word studies, because we begin to take for granted something we've heard before and we don't hear it anymore. So when you rethink, what does that really mean? Then you
Mm.
can kind of wake up to what God's trying to say. What God's trying to tell you is His incredible value of you. If you came from the image of God, you're impressive. There's just no two ways about it. If you believe God created the universe one way or another, then you came from a profound being. That makes you amazing. And it's okay to take that in, because when you really get that in a good way about yourself, you'll be kinder than anybody else you know. You'll be more generous than anybody else you know, because you recognize your value. You recognize your ability to reproduce, to produce, to make something, and the value of you just being on the planet. So you want to be kind, you want to be full of love, you want to be generous. Plug into the source first. We're never our own source. But then from there, really learn how to enjoy yourself in a very real way. You know what? We're usually really, really aware of our flaws. So recognize your core value and that you're human. We all have our flaws. We can be authentic and we don't have to pretend we're something we're not. But we're amazing as beings. And we're supposed to know that really well.
And we have a purpose and we want to leave a legacy behind. Our lives matter.
Absolutely. More than we know. More than we know.
This has been fun.
We hope you enjoy yourself. If you go to lenoradiane.com, sign up on our email list. We'll make sure over this next week that we get out to you a digital version of what we read on this podcast, because it's just encouraging. You can look in the mirror if you want to and get comfortable talking about how valuable you are. Have a great week. Take good care of you.